in the lazy fathead kind of way, I'm actually doing this on my cell phone simply because I am A, lazy, and B, I just don't feel like setting up lights and everything. I actually took the lights out for a project I had the other day, and this room actually looks messier than it actually is. I have a Gatorade bottle that fell on the ground, and so I'm going to move that so that people don't think that I live like a slob, because I don't. This is not my commercial studio, this is my home studio. This is where I do my live streams for the channel when I'm not at work. And it's sort of a funky 70s space. There's a number of things that I need to do about it. The first of which is I intend to deal with this absolutely disgusting, god awful piece of crap curtain, if you want to call it that. So if you're ever attacked by the Paisley Avenger, I've been actually meaning to get rid of this. It actually came with the house, and I haven't actually done anything with it. But I thought I would actually take some time to show you the little space that I have and some of the gear that I have that I do it in, because it's kind of funky and it's not usually the kind of setup that you see. I find that a lot of people have either brand new stuff or a lot of old stuff or a whole bunch of stuff and other stuff. Actually, speaking of stuff, I'm going to turn this light on simply because I think this light is amusing for no apparent reason. I got it for $30 at, I think I got it at London Drugs. I can't remember where I got it. And frankly, I don't care because I already paid for it. So this is where I do the music live streams. And I also, a lot of the time for Go Nitro, I'll do the music at home as well. I don't often feel like doing it in the commercial studio, so I don't usually do them at Skycron proper. I will usually do them at home. So I have basically two things here. So obviously I have my beloved Prophet 5, which I've wanted since I was a kid. This was actually provided to me by Sequential as a sort of an artist promo thing because they knew that it was going to be used for Go Nitro Season 3, and this was actually provided as a sort of a promo thing to kind of shout out that it was provided by Sequential. I did pay for it, but it was at a substantially reduced rate. And I won't tell you what that is because I promised Sequential that I would not. Under that, I have a Korg, just sort of an El Cheapo Korg controller with 88 keys. And that is what I actually have connected to my main system that I do my scoring on. Sorry, there's not a lot of light in here. And I also, bloody hell. See, I'm using this really cheap camera. I have a Motorola Moto E, which I thought I had some fairly lousy phones. This one takes the cake, but this is basically what I do the music and everything on. And then when I want to work from home, I can connect this through sort of a VPN or like sorry a local area network, like a private network kind of thing, and then I can do that. And there's a few things that I have. I have a you know what? Maybe while I'm talking and while I am live streaming, oh, I had a viewer and then I lost them because they were probably looking at these ugly curtains. Well, that's okay. That's fine. I will show you the ground. So this will take a minute to boot up. There's a post error that I have to fix on my computer, and I sort of use it as a little. So while I'm waiting for that to boot up and post through it, I'll kind of go through it. So yeah, so this is where I do a lot of the music here, and I obviously have a Prophet 5, and then I have the keyboard, the Korg keyboard, which is connected as a controller to the computer that's booting up. And then I have an older mixer, which I actually really like quite a bit because I find that the pre's are not too bad considering this is a really old mixer. This mixer is probably from, I'm going to say 1995 or so. So I have everything kind of going through it. And I bought this from a guy in Saskatoon for like 250 bucks. I was a bit of an asshole in terms of negotiating a lower price because you just couldn't unload it, and a lot of people wanted fancier mixers with automated sliders and all that kind of crap, and I don't need it, so I just don't use it. I use it to basically just so that I don't have to switch all my keyboards and synthesizers and whatever. This is a portable rack that I use for various things. Obviously, I have some instruments. I have my snare drum, and if you're wondering why there is an iPad and a if you're wondering why there is an iPad and a case on it, it just kind of acts as a mute. Not the iPad, I was using this as a shelf. So, and then I usually have microphones here. This is actually some of my pilot stuff because I'm a private pilot, and those of you that know me know that I like to fly, so I fly a single engine plane. So going back to the recording, and then obviously I have like a little boom mic and that. I don't have a mic on it right now, but when I record stuff for television and I have music and stuff that I do, then I will basically just put that there. This is completely irrelevant. This is just basically the nerd shelf. I have various vintage sort of mini games here. I have Street Fighter, which I actually used to be pretty good at in college. There we go. It's one of those My Arcade jobbies. Works pretty well. Single player. Well, you know what? I'm not here to play the games, so I will shut that off. It's a little hard using the. Yeah, this is a really crappy phone, so. And then obviously I have Mortal Kombat, and I have Galaxian, and I have a little brownie camera. And then I just have some my gimbals there, and then I have various lights and camera stuff here, and some of the press stuff. That Syracuse is my favorite team. Any of you that know me know this very well. This I kept. This is actually, I got this when we filmed the episode of Go Nitro, actually, with the Syracuse women's basketball team. So we got like a press kit and everything, which members of the press get. This is irrelevant somewhat. This is just some press, larger press in one of the larger papers here. And then there's like a little plaque and all of that. It's not really in focus. This is a You Done Did Good plaque I got from the mayor of the city of Ottawa a number of years ago. Production didn't exactly go the way I wanted, so I'll take the consolation prize, I guess. So basically the way that I have the thing set up here is I have all my microphones, my keyboards, everything, the music instruments, all that, my onboard, all that stuff. That all goes into the mixer. And then I have my headset and all my other microphones. They all go right into this mixer, so it actually works really well. So I just have the mixer here, and then I have some wireless stuff so that I can kind of move around. Obviously, I have like a little jewel kit thing because I have a little portable table that I bring in here when I need to solder and fix things. So this is actually one of my favorite devices. It's probably a little old now, and I should probably dust it. This attracts dust like nobody's business. Like I dust in here, usually once a week, but I don't know what it is with this thing. So this is my little Tascam Porta Studio, and I actually really like it quite a bit. It's I got it used for like, I think I paid like $400 for it, and I actually went to Medicine Hat in Alberta to buy it from this guy, and it was funny because he had all this stuff, and it was like this interesting looking Russian guy with like a wife beater and everything, but it was legit. I mean, he had all the paperwork and could prove it, so that's fine. So that's I really like this because sometimes if I think of a musical idea or I want to record something, I don't always want to have to go on the computer and set it up and set up Fruity Loops and set up Cubase and set up everything. I don't always feel like doing that because it takes a lot of time. So by the time all your plugins and your VSTs and all that kind of stuff are initialized, then you've forgotten what the hell it was that you wanted to record in the first place. So that doesn't do anybody any good, in my opinion anyway, but hey, what do I know? So what's nice about this is you can kind of just turn it on, arm the track, record it, and be done with it. So all my instruments, including the computer, by the way, it all goes into this. The other thing that I really like about the Tascam Porta Studio systems is, in addition to being able to bounce the tracks right on it, you also have the ability to take the tracks, and then you can actually bring the individual tracks in Cubase or whatever, which is one of the things that I really like about it. So you can kind of record a track that's ready to go, and then if you want to master it and do stuff later where you do want to do it on the computer, then you can do that. And that's one of the things that I really like about it. So going back to the iPad here, the reason that I have the iPad is for a couple of reasons. One, it was cheap, and it seemed like a good way to buy it. Maybe it would help if I turned it on the right way. I actually use this to control my DJI drone. So I have like a little Mini 2. And it's great. It's perfectly good for broadcast, and I really like it. And and this is nice. So I have like a little custom clip and everything. And I'm going to put that away because you don't need to know my password because it's none of your GD business. And so what I like about this, come on, turn the other way. There we go. Yeah, what I like about this is I have like a little clip, and then it goes on the controller for my drone, and then I have a nice big display. I find that it doesn't work all that well with Android, which is annoying for me because it works well enough, I guess, with Android. I just don't particularly care for it because I find that it doesn't work as well as it could be. You know, somebody liked my reply on one of the videos I did on YouTube. Well, that's very nice. Thank you. What I like about this is that I have a nice big screen and I can semi-automate some of it. So when I'm out flying or I'm doing a client job or whatever, it makes it very easy. The other thing too is, ironically, even though my day job is working in TV, I don't really get a chance to watch a lot of TV, and I also do a lot of programming in English as well as in French. So I like to keep an eye on, I'm not in, I do a lot of work in Quebec, like I do it here, but I do a lot of French language work because I'm originally from Ottawa, so the Outaouais. So if I want to watch, I can watch here. Les Rangers en finlandais. Yeah, I think we know how the Rangers did. And what I like about this is I can kind of see it. And what I'm hoping is at some point it would be kind of cool to have a French version of Go Nitro running on TVA. Maybe it would help if I logged in en direct. Here we go. Little soccer action going on here. Le magazine CF, le plus récent nouvelle concernant le CF Montréal. There's been a lot of, and it's nice because it plays really well. This is actually a really good quality feed. Yeah, I won't show too much of that just for copyright reasons, but this is nice. So when I want to kind of keep an eye on what's going on with CF Montréal, I can just watch it, on TV as well. Ancien but de la saison pour un défenseur. Yeah, I was never much for defense, and I was never particularly good at playing soccer anyway. I guess I will turn this off. Oh, I have one viewer. Well, I apologize to you, dear viewer. That's kind of cool. So anyway, yeah, so that I use this for a bunch of different things. I am not an Apple guy. I used to be. In fact, I used to get picked on in school for being like an Apple guy. Oh, in the grand tradition of completely pointless videos that have absolutely no purpose whatsoever, I bought this for like $9. They had, I went to Walmart the other day. Yeah, I know Walmart. And they had these coasters that are made to look like Nintendo cartridges, and I figured, for $10 or $9.99 or whatever the hell it was, I thought, you know what the hell, I'll buy it. Oh, I have the box still. Here we go. I mean, they're kind of cheap. They're yeah, whatever. I mean, they're kind of cheap, but they do get the job done. And I figure, well, you know what? For $10, you can't really complain too much with them, and they're amusing. And at least they are better at holding my drinks than I am at playing Excite Bike. So, there's always a silver lining. So the other thing that I was going to show you, okay, so here we go. I have to fix this. There's like a post when I updated my machine. When I updated my machine, something happened, and it always wants to go into safe mode. It wants to post in safe mode, and I just haven't really had the time to kind of go into it. I know this is not great practice, but you know, it's eventually I will sit down and I will troubleshoot it. I just haven't had the time. So I'm gonna log in. That would probably help. So this is the setup that I do like when I'm not in the studio. This is actually what I use for most of my when I'm working from home. This is where I do most of the creation of my stuff. So a lot of the time if I don't feel like being in the studio, then I will just work from home and then I can connect to my studio server with this and then I can work from here. And the nice thing is if I need to do, you know, animation work, I can do that. So I can go into, you know, Photoshop. The other thing I can do is I can stream from here. Usually I don't stream from this device, or I don't normally stream from the computer. I will usually just stream direct. I have a little streaming device from a Chinese company that isn't very good. Oh, this was the graphic that I did for my video, for my little voiceover video. I really like this. You know, back when I was in college, I had a Cintiq, like the first version of the Cintiq, and I think it was like a 15SX or whatever it was. And, you know, at the time it was like $4,000, and I had like a scholarship type thing that I got it. And this is way bigger. Is this made by Cintiq? No, it is not. It is made by XP Pen, which is some Chinese company, you know. But you know what? It works great. Like I've got, like I can. There's a little charging port at the end of this pen, and the only thing I need to do about this is I need to configure it because it goes to all these monitors. But anyway, you get the idea. So what's cool about this? I'll just paint this yellow so that you can see. I love this, and this was like I think it was like $600. It was a really good price. I've gotten really addicted to kind of doing things cheap. But what's nice about this is I can just, I don't know if you can see because I'm basically holding my phone like a moron and then broadcasting this. But what's cool about it, yeah, so what's cool about it is this is actually touch sensitive. I haven't animated in a long time, but so what's cool about it is you can just, you can just kind of do it like this, which I really like. And I'm very pleased with this device. It was like $600. $600 on Amazon. Amazon has everything. Say what you want about Mr. Bezos. At least they have shit in stock, and at least you can get what you are paying. He's giving people what they want. I'm never gonna let Alexa in my house. But yeah, I mean, this is great. What's nice about this is that I can draw on it. I can do motion tracking work, which is fantastic. Like I really like this a lot. And it really feels like doing pencil and paper. Like it has that. It's sort of like a semi matte. Like I'm just drawing this as I'm live streaming, so it's probably complete bullshit. I can still draw, sort of. I used to be a professional animator. That's what I was trained for. And, I heard that Disney decided to open up their animation. Let's see how long that lasts. But yeah, so I mean, this is a cool device, and it's very, very useful. I really like it. So this is typically what I use. And then, as I say, I have everything sort of connected to it. Then I have some other old school tech. This I kind of use as just my working on it. I'm actually doing some renovations in here. So I have, like, this is one of my little cameras, and then I have like some tracks. And this I just use. I need to clean this up a bit. It's a bit of a mess. There's some fuzz from my chair. This chair I have kind of sucks. I get a proper chair. Just lesson here, kids. Just because, some guy that you see is producing a TV show for Fox does not mean that everything is state of the art in his home office. This chair is probably from like 1975. Came with the house. I haven't thrown it out. I probably should. Here's some old school tech. Old VHS tape. This is not. I was using this as a scratch tape. Dairy Producers Corp video. I don't even drink milk, so cool. Yeah, and I've got, obviously I have like my audio interface. And then this, obviously I have like, this is when I do voiceover work for people. This is one of the microphones. This mic it's funny. People shit on this mic, and I've been working in professional broadcast for a very long time. And I got to tell you, the XLR version of the AT2020 punches quite far. I would say it really punches above its weight. I'm very impressed with it, and it's quite warm. I mean, I have other microphones that I use, but this is the one that I often use, and it's technically an entry-level mic, but the mic works pretty well for me. The other thing that I like, and then I have, like I have some of my lights and my tripod and doodads and things, and then I've got some other stuff there. So then I just have like my multimeter and diagnostic stuff and soldering equipment and that sort of thing. So that's all what I have there. But basically, yeah. So there's a few things I'm going to do. This closet here, I'm actually turning into a recording booth, because it's pretty much already set up like that. And then what I'm going to do is then I'll just have like a little seat in there, and I'll put my thing in there, and then I'll have I have a little display. You can see I'm in the middle of making it now. I have a little 19-inch TV, and then I'm going to put that on a swivel that's actually going to go in there. So if I end up doing, any anime dubbing that I do for Crunchyroll or Sentai Filmworks or whoever, they oftentimes will not actually send you a script. The script is displayed, and they'll do remote sessions, and they'll just kind of show it. They are cutting back on remote right now. So those of us that are doing remote, because they just built a fancy schmancy new studio, so they want people kind of operating at their studio. But I think what's going to happen is I think we're going to go back to a hybrid recording sort of module, and there's other voiceover work that I can do. And I have a day job owning a production company with a TV show, so I'm doing okay. I enjoy doing voice work. But yeah, so this is basically, when you see my live streams, this is basically where I'm doing it, in this room. So I've got my computer that I can work from home. I have another laptop here. I actually have a third laptop there, and that is actually the one where all my live on location stuff is done. So lower thirds and stuff like that. And then I have a Black Magic ATEM switcher that I use, and then I can have basically stuff with alpha channels live and that sort of thing. So this is basically it. I mean, obviously there's some things I want to change, right? Because when I got the house, I haven't really had the chance to do anything with it yet, really. So I still have, like you can see, it's a bit of a mess. Like I've got boxes on the floor, and there's some things that I'm still kind of unraveling, and I've got stuff in bags, and there's stuff that frankly kind of looks like shit. But these are sort of the things that I am kind of working on right now. And like I said, the first order of business obviously is I'm going to take that disgusting curtain and get rid of it. And I keep meaning to do it, and every time I go into town, and then I forget. And then every time I do a live stream, I just think, oh my god, that looks like shit. So one of these days, I will absolutely, I will do the swapping the thing out. Oh, here's something that's kind of cool. Well, you might not think it's cool, but I think it's cool. And a lot of people seem to think it's cool, so you might be outvoted. So just the cool thing about a lot of the stuff that we've done is obviously we get press passes, and I've kept pretty much all of them, or a lot of them at least anyway. I used to work at a big TV network up in Canada, and you end up with a pile of these reporters and producers. They seem to have this idea in their head that they need to keep every single press pass that they've ever gotten. And I just realized that I had a box full of these fucking things, and I don't know why I kept them. But so I just kept the ones that I thought the most. So obviously, I'm a super huge Orange fan. Uh, oh, for some reason I have. So this is actually Emily's pass. Oh, I know, because I took my press pass and then I hold them here. All the press passes are here. I'll have to bring that and give that back to Emily back at the office. Sorry, Emily, I stole your press pass. It should be in the office. This one is mine. Media. This was for NASCAR. NASCAR's actually been really good to us. And then I have the CBL. That was the first. That was when the Rattlers won. Shit. Yorkton Film Festival. There's a, you know, yeah, not exactly the Academy Awards. Not worth mentioning. Anyway, so that's basically kind of how I have it set up. And oh yeah, I'll show you something a little bit more interesting than the wall. Funny thing, I've had this clapboard since. This is a real one. This is a real one. I used to use this for commercials. This is the old Skycron logo, or at least part of it anyway. This clapboard, I got this clapboard probably in 2004, I guess. Something like that. So this clapboard is pushing about 20 years. And every single commercial I did for CTV or any of the work that I did for TVA or whatever, or Canada and all that stuff, this was a clapboard that I used. And it still gets used because although there are fancier clapboards, of course, that have stuff like they have time code and a little display on them and gen lock and all that kind of crap. I mean, it's not crap, but a lot of the time you really need it. There are cases where you just need to do a slate and it needs to get done. You have a whole bunch and you just get like a dry erase marker and you do it. But, and I think this is just like a vinyl job, which you can probably see here, as it were. But yeah, that's kind of cool. It slates. I mean, the thing is, here's the thing about slates. Okay, everybody's like, oh well, you should use an iPad slate and a fancy slate, whatever. The thing is when you already have a whole bunch of equipment that is all over the freaking place all the time, you don't need to add another piece of technical hardware that is just another thing that can go wrong. And there are some cases, yes, where you want to have digital and this and that and the other thing and that kind of jazz. But the thing is what you really need to consider is that sometimes you just need to know what take it is and what take it is and what and basically what there's no rules anymore, but that's basically all you need to know. So you don't need to have another $1,000 device just to tell you what freaking take it is. So an acrylic slate that has that you put a dry erase marker, that a lot of the time that's really all you need. I mean, hell, for the longest time, they used to be chalkboards because we usually record the sounds separately, right? You don't always have it right into the camera. Oh, here's something else that's kind of funny that shows how time changed with these. Now you can get this kind of stuff on like AliExpress for like $20 or whatever. Like they're super super cheap, and you get a lot of. What makes me laugh is that you get a lot of people that buy them because they think they always want to do the top, like the snap of the slate. but then they're actually using the onboard microphone on the camera, which they don't realize it, but it makes them look like idiots because the whole point of the whole point of the slate and the clapper is that you're recording your audio on a separate device, right? The camera usually does not record the sound. It's a separate device. So what the whole point of it is that you have a visual cue when this closes, right? So that you can take your recording later, be it on analog tape or digital or whatever, and then when you take your film, then when you take your filmed footage and then you synchronize it, you basically just listen for the click, like, or in the audio track, or look at the waveform, and then basically you synchronize it for when you see the slate close. And then everything else just kind of falls into lockstep and is synchronized. So that's sort of how that rolls. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I apologize for the crappy quality of this. I mean, I'm using this on my cell phone in a not very well lit room. Usually when I do my sit down, usually when I'll do my sit down live streams, I will actually use a GoPro, which I actually have here. It's already here. And then I have my two lights there. I'll put them back up. Like I said, I had to use them the other day. But I just used this. Perfectly good. These cameras are extremely good. And then I have a blue light that's sort of on the right hand side. And then I have a light behind the camera so that my face is exposed more or less properly. And then I use this device here to live stream it, which this is sort of what I use here. It's an Android based device. It's a Chinese device. It's not very good. I wouldn't use it for commercial work because it's, it has some issues with keeping up and the streams are not as super smooth. But for talking head stuff and just stuff, it's fine. I would not use this for a commercial stream. I mean, the quality is perfectly good, but but it was basically given to me, and I sure as hell wouldn't have paid for it. But what I do like about it is that you can turn it on, and it just works, and it's connected to YouTube, and then and that's what I like about it. So, unlike this one, where you probably feel like you've had a couple of glasses of really bad Ontario wine, as if there is such a thing as good Ontario wine. But anyway, be that as it may, sometimes it's nice just to be able to turn it on. And hell, you know what? I got to go to the gym later, so maybe I will try and annoy you all with a live stream from there, because nobody will probably be in the gym because I tend to work out very, very late. And yeah. So I'm running out of things to say, which I know is probably a complete shock. But it was also kind of fun sometimes to just sort of turn this on. Not everything has to be super, super slick. And God knows this particular broadcast is not super, super slick. So be that as it may. And this is interesting. I've never actually done this on my phone before, right through. So the question is I don't actually know how to. That wasn't supposed to happen. Connect. Okay, here we go. So on my phone, I actually went into something else. See, this is why I don't normally broadcast directly from YouTube. But hey, you know what? It's late at night. What the hell, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can figure out how to stop this. How do I stop it? I don't actually know how to stop it directly on YouTube. Go figure, huh? Right on the app. Maybe the X will do it. All right, X, will you allow me to stop broadcasting? Oh, yes, you will. Voulez-vous vraiment arrêter la diffusion? Oui. Yeah, I have my phone set to French. All right, bye. Well, I have 2 viewers now, and I'm going. Oh, no, 1 left. They're like, I heard that guy said he had 2 viewers. I don't want to get his hopes up. Fuck him. Fuck that jerk. Fuck him. Well, that's okay. If they change their mind, I'll be at the gym and I can board them there.